Hi family, I'm Dr. Brenda Woburiasti. I'm a licensed daycare provider, a published author of 3 children's books, an advocate, a consultant, a veteran's wife, and a mother. If you need help setting up your daycare service or just looking for great ideas to incorporate a play-based learning approach as well as learn about research-based solutions to issues impacting education, this is the channel for you. Subscribe, share, like. Thank you. Toddler Preschool Summerfield Trips 2022. Tips and tricks for planning the best learning experiences for young children. Okay, so the first one, search the neighborhood. This is very, very important, because when you search your neighborhood, you discover what they have. I see a movie theater in this neighborhood. I see a casino. I see little coffee shops, all kinds of places. I'm not saying take your preschoolers to the casino, but it's just good to note that, okay, we have a casino here, we have an IMAX, we have a theme park. Now there's King Dominion somewhere around here, but I think it's about 45 minutes. That's kind of far for the children to travel to and fro, so I don't do trips that far. I think the one time we had gone really far, about 35 minutes or 40 minutes, was I think it was 3 years ago, where we went to the Army Museum, and that was a fun trip, but it was really far. The children were tired by the time they got there. By the time they came back, it was a knockout. So we don't want to do trips that are too far away for the children to travel to. And also remember, you don't have to drive to your field trips. The children can just walk it. Like these neighborhood trails, they are everywhere. Discover where they are. Ask parents, to give you ideas of where they think you can take the kids to for the summer program. There are lots of swimming pools in parks in our neighborhood here, and that's an amazing thing, because where I used to work in Maryland, we really didn't have that. The only thing they had like private pools where you could pay for time, and that was very expensive. But the fact that they have these parks and they have pools and playgrounds in the parks in our neighborhood is just amazing. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is to discover learning experiences. What do I mean? Wherever you're going to in your neighborhood, you have to think, when we get there, we know summer field trips or any field trip at that is for fun. It's for the child to just enjoy the fresh air, meet people, interact, communicate with people, see new things, experience new things, explore the world around them. But there's another big question. When they go, even if they're exploring the world, even if they are enjoying the trip, what are they going to benefit from going on those trips? Okay, they have to ask that question. Are they going to learn their numbers? Are they just going to be interacting with each other and enjoying social skills? Are you just taking them to a place where they can use their hands and have textures of different kinds? Are you going to take them to places where they can learn new environments? That's something to take note of. Okay, so we've done 1, we've done 2. Now let's talk about 3. How do we end up settling on location? You settle on locations by checking the distance, checking the other resources that you have that you're going to be using for the summer. One field trip that the children always love is the bowling field trip. Now we talked about what are they going to be learning when they go bowling. They can learn strategies. They can be using their motor skills, their gross and fine motor skills. They are moving around. They are counting the pegs. They are strategizing how to, because they do have those mini little kid balls that the little children can play with. They are checking colors. They are looking at lights. So there's a lot they can do there, and you have to see what they will be benefiting from the trip, and then you start making your list. I know that we're gonna go bowling this year. We're going to the market. We're going to the farm. We already did one field trip. We went to the police station. We're going to the we don't have any aquatic place around here. I wish we did. I know they have some really nice one at the Baltimore Harbor, and that was nice to go to sometimes, see the beautiful aquatic animals there. But what we have here is where we're going, and there are some nice places here. We have on our field trip, we have the Paragon Gym, which is the Paragon Gym is like a children's gym where they have like trampolines, balls, all kinds of gymnastic things, but they are geared towards my preschoolers. So all of those trips we've decided on. Okay, so when we've decided on the trip, the next thing to do is to seek permission. Who are we seeking permission from? Can you guess? The parents. We're going on these field trips. Is that something you want to embark on? And also sometimes I invite parents for field trips. But right now I have a small group and I can cope. My husband goes with me, and it's just amazing to have the same familiar faces they see every day to go with you on the field trip. So I also make sure I call the various venues that I have decided on taking the children to. You have to see if they are ready for you. When you get there, they give you VIP treatment. Sometimes we pay ahead of time, So I take permission from the parents, and that's okay. And in Virginia, we have field trip permission forms. There is the general one, which is just for walks, and I've talked about this before, but I think I'm going to do a video about it. And then there's the specific special field trip form, which is the one that the parents have to fill out when you need to go beyond the neighborhood. And I'm going to show you that at some point in another video. But that's what you do. And then I call the different venues. For instance, I call the bowling alley. Hey, I have a group of preschoolers. We want to come down there, and this date and that date, and and they're ready for us when we get there. Okay, so number 5, you do a head count. All right, now we've decided on where to go. We've called them. We've talked to parents. So now we know who's going. How many children are going for this field trip, or adults as well. So we're counting the children, we're counting the adults that are going for the field trip. When you do a head count, that means that you can plan for what they eat. You can plan for how they get transported there. You can plan all kinds of things just by knowing the number of children that you're taking. And also not just knowing the number of children you're taking, because there's more to kids than numbers. You also want to know the temperaments of children. Man, some of our kids, sometimes they go out and they have tantrums, they fall out on the grass or wherever, and man, it could be tough. So I have been at centers. I've never refused any child for a field trip at my daycare, but I've been at centers where they had to have children stay back because their parents could not accompany them on field trips, because those children were not gonna be well behaved when they went out. So all of that you have to consider. Number 6, the next one, you create a calendar. So where are we going to on Monday? On Tuesday, the 2nd of March, 2021, where are we going? And this is how I do it. I print out June, July, August calendars from online, and they are just plain, they are not decorated on anything. And when I print those out, I write, while I'm making the calls and doing permissions and all of that, I'm writing those trips down on the calendar. And I've talked to the venues, and we know the dates we're coming, and I'm writing all of those down on the calendars. And this is an amazing way to be well organized. So when I'm done with the rough sketch, I go online. I already have a template calendar for summer that I use every year. So I take the rough sketch and I put it on the template, and that's it, and I have the calendar ready. Okay, so number 7, we consider payments. Now we know where we're going in our neighborhood. We've decided on the various trips. We've taken permission. Now we're talking about cost. How much is it going to cost per child or adult to go to that particular venue we're going to? Sometimes payments are split. Like at my daycare, I split payment. The parents pay a little percentage of the field trip, and I pay the bulk. And I check it. I don't have any financial gains for field trips. I really don't. So I take a little something from the parents, and I pay for the other, and we put it all together, and we go for our field trip. So usually you have to pay for the venue, you have to pay for transportation, for food, and all of that. That's what you need to consider. Okay, so transportation. How we get into these places? When I worked at centers, they were able to rent school buses, because there were a lot of children, and the school bus company worked with them and worked with us and gave us a little bit of discount. But as a home daycare, I have less children. I don't need a school bus. Sometimes we just use a minivan. And right now, I found a transportation company at my neighborhood that transports children, and that's what we're using. And they have a driver. They come, they pick us up at an arranged time. We get in the car, they drop us off. When it's time, we call the driver, call the transportation company, and they come back and get us. Very convenient. Sometimes my husband and I, we drive to field trips, but that's not something I wanted to do this year. I just wanted to relax with the children, talk to them while we're traveling, talking about what we're seeing. Sometimes people do take the trains for field trip actually, but that's probably for older children. Okay, so then we consider the food and the drinks. If you're taking preschoolers out, you need to feed them, And the thing about field trip days is that they are different. They are not like the regular routine days, so things change. So we always plan to get food from any one of the fast food places, or we make sandwiches and do a picnic. So that's how we do with food for the children. Also, I make sure we get drinks in their bottles or cups with tops, or we take water. So it depends. Like last week, we went to the playground down the street. It's just a school, and they let us use their playground, and it's just a little walk from here, not even far at all. But we took some water, we took some cups, we took some snacks, because you're taking children places. These are things you need to consider, and these are things you need to pack with you when you leave. So we haven't really eaten spaghetti yet at field trips, but we do go to like the cafes at the venues where we get food. Now at the bowling alley, they have the most amazing pizzas, so that's what we get with the plan, with the field trip plan. Okay, number 10, what to pack. Okay, what do we pack? We are now ready to go. What's gonna be in our backpack? I know that sunscreen is one of them. I always encourage my daycare parents to make sure that they use sunscreen on their children before they come to daycare in the morning, especially for field trip days. So I just apply like an extra coat on our way out, and we still take some sunscreen with us as well, because you never know, it can get really hot. Okay, so you take something to take pictures with, like camera, a phone, something to document your trip with. You need to take, I always take my emergency kit with me, take the children's information in our backpack, all kinds of great stuff that we take. Okay, so this is I hope you enjoyed this short video. I hope this helps somebody one way or the other. Please don't forget, prayers get answered, miracles still happen, and every single thing is possible. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.